Welcome back, guys, to the
What's
Valentino TV YouTube channel.
I'm Rachel Glam.
I'm Noodle, yes.
And today we are going to be showing you guys how I ombre, and Noodle is going to be following along.
I'm so excited. I've only done ombre a few times, but this one right here is logo. So she's going to teach us. We're in classroom mode right now. We're getting ready to go. So teacher, please take it away.
Let's do this. But before we get started, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel and turn on that bell notification so you're notified every time we upload a new video.
Yes, because you guys want to stay up to date with all the cool content that we got coming out, because you know it's
popping.
It's fire and it's popping. It's popping fire. So,
all right, let's get into it. So, to start off, we're gonna take our forms. Noodle and I have already prepped our nails with the Valentino dehydrator and the Super Bond. So we're gonna start off with the Valentino Forms, and we're gonna put that on our nails nice and snug.
Perfect.
So when I start out, I always put the sticker on the bottom of the form, sticky side up, just so it stays sticky all the way through. And then I'll take it and I'll roll it so it has a nice curve underneath, and I'll pinch the front of it.
I just learned something right now.
Did you?
Yeah, I really just did.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I put the tab the other way.
Oh really? Oh snap. Not a lot of, most people put the tab the other way. I actually learned this from Sabrina.
No way.
She taught me this when we were in LA. So I pinch the front tabs, I make sure they're like perfectly aligned so that way it's not crooked, and then I just apply it onto my nail. So once the form is on, we're gonna take Crystal Clear from Valentino, and I always like to start my nails off with a clear base.
Okay.
Super thin. So we'll get our Valentino rose gold brush out, and we're gonna take a bead of Crystal Clear, and I like to apply it right where the free edge is gonna start. I'll place the bead right there, and then I start pushing it with the body of my brush into the shape that I want it to be. I don't cover like the actual nail bed with the clear, I just make like the tip of my nail with the clear. Does that make sense?
Right, so you just pretty much like at the stress point.
Right.
And then just like extend out.
Totally.
Well, I'm gonna do that. Thanks for being the best teacher.
Oh my gosh. Thanks for being the best student.
You're welcome.
You're like my hype girl, dude.
Dude, that's what I'm here for. You know.
You know.
You know how it rolls.
So when I'm applying this clear base, I'm also trying to work super clean so that way there's not a whole lot of filing at the end. So I try to keep the edges super clean and sharp.
Less work, less time.
Less filing is always the key. Save your wrist. All right, so this is the part, once I have that clear base down, this is the part where I will squeeze the bottom of the form, and I'll pinch that opening at the top that I left open.
Okay.
And so I pinch it really tight, and that gives it a really nice C curve underneath.
I do that too. Like I'll form it, and then I tend to pinch it while it's like setting.
Right. Yeah, so while that clear base is like drying or curing or whatever you want to call it, that's when I pinch it, and it'll give it that nice curve that we want. All right, so we have our clear base down now.
Okay, so
We pinched the forms, and now we're going in with 185 from the new Glow Getters collection. It's the one, it comes out white, but it glows blue. It's so pretty, I love it. It's my favorite. So we are gonna go in with a bead of 185. Dude, you're like my hype girl. I love it. You make me feel so good.
I don't know how that. Wait.
So I'm gonna go in with this bead of 185. And I am putting it just below the stress point of the nail. And I'm gonna feather the product up so that way there's not a harsh line. This is gonna help give us that really nice ombre effect. And then we're just gonna pull the product down the tip.
So you just kind of blended that like little top piece. I see, so that like you don't see like a super thick like line right there.
Right. So it's not harsh. So everything is faded into each other. Yeah, so fading it right at that stress point. I say the stress point too because then you kind of have an idea of where you're gonna place each bead. So then when you look at all of your nails, it's cohesive. Ombre is probably one of my favorite like go-to looks.
I think with anything, it's just practicing it enough times that you just feel like you get the knack down for it. And I do feel like it is intimidating to people, you know, because we see these like just flawless blends, and it doesn't always like click at first, but I think just letting loose with it is so important, you know, because I feel like that's what makes it good, is that
definitely
you don't overthink it, you know?
Right. And you definitely, it helps when you have, like, if you see me applying the acrylic, I have such a soft touch. Like, I'm not applying a lot of pressure on my brush. So like, my bristles, they're like not even bending, right? When I'm applying it, they're just gently touching the nail. And so that's gonna help you get that nice like faded, feathered look with the white. A light hand will help with an ombre, for sure.
I feel like a lot of times that like doing nails feels a lot like just doing makeup.
Totally. Blend it.
You know?
That's what I always say. Blend it, blend it, blend it. Just like you would your contour.
Right. And I feel like it's the same like when you're using the brush and having like a better grip on it, or like holding it like closer to the end. It helps with being more like fluid with it, like more organic, or being more precise up close. And I feel like that's like the same as makeup.
Totally. That's a really good comparison. Yep, so just like super light touch. Yeah, see how like your bristles are not bending or anything while you're working? That's exactly how you want it.
Okay, teacher.
That's perfect. I would just put a little more white at the tip so that, because it'll get filed down. Gorgeous, darling, gorgeous.
So just making sure that like all the white is the same opacity, like the same amount of like whiteness.
Right. Especially with stilettos, you want to make sure at the very tip right up here, you apply enough product, because with stilettos, the tips can break off pretty easily, because once you go into file, you file them so it's super sharp, right? But then it makes the tip up here thinner. So then when you bump into stuff, it'll break the tip off. So you want to make sure you're putting enough product up there, knowing that you're going to go into file and make it thinner. So you want to give it a nice thick tip. Not too thick, just a little thick. Just a little. All right, you ready for the next step, nudes?
I think so.
All right, so now we're gonna go in with Bad and Bougie, which is one of my favorite nudes. It's part of the new cover collection from Valentino, but this cover is so cute. So we're gonna go in with a bead of Bad and Bougie, and we're gonna take this bead and place it right on top of that fade line that we just created. Okay. Right on top of it, okay? And then immediately, we're gonna just fade it down, fade it down. My brush is really wet right now, so that is gonna help with the fade, but we're just gonna bring it all the way down, just like that, covering that white.
You took it like lower than you brushed like lower than I would have thought.
Yeah.
Why are you going backwards?
So now I'm going backwards just to make sure the blend is nice and even, because I don't know if you guys could see, but when I brushed it down, there is like a streak right here. So it's like we were talking about earlier, when you have your makeup, you just blend, 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 right? So that's exactly what I'm doing right here. Blend, blend, blend. So then once I have that done, I go in with another bead and just put it right onto the nail bed. Walk it up towards the cuticle. Walk it out, walk it out. Make it flush to the cuticle so that way there's not a ledge once the nail grows out. And then again, just fade it down. Everything is faded.
You're using
everything
a 10
is
brush,
blended.
Right? Or a 12?
I think this is 10. Also, when you're fading at this part, you don't need to worry about the apex right away, because we are gonna go in and clear cap the ombre, so that way when we go file.
Now, would you suggest clear capping every time you do ombre, like, regardless of length or anything?
Personally, I always clear cap the ombre, just because when you go in and file, there is always that possibility of you filing out your ombre, which then doesn't give you that perfect fade. So for me, I always clear cap because it's just like a little safety net for me for when I go into file. I don't have to worry too much. So now that we have finished our ombre, we are gonna finish off by taking a bead of crystal clear again and capping that fade. We just worked so hard to blend the nude into that white, so we wanna make sure it stays that way. So I'll go in with the clear bead and I literally place it right on top of where that fade starts. And just like I was telling you before, I want the bulk of that bead to stay on the fade. So I'm just gonna kind of blend out the edges of the bead. So then with the clear, you can also go in if you need to build up your apex a little more or get the structure of your nail right. You can go in and fill in any lumps or bumps with the clear.
Okay.
All right, you guys, so we're gonna go off camera really quick, file and top coat, and we'll be back to show you the final result.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Oh my gosh, I actually feel like I learned and did something like kind of outside of my comfort zone.
Oh,
so,
that makes me feel so good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you learned something.
I did. So if you're wondering, I'm just applying a little bit of cuticle oil.
Get those moisturized.
Look, but are we ready for the reveal?
Yeah, are you guys ready to see?
Okay, I want to see yours.
All right.
Show mine.
So here is the final look. Thank you.
Okay, so mine, and I do honestly feel like my blend is like really good.
You did really good.
Like I'm proud of my blend. The only thing that I did kind of mess up on is I did file up into the side area. Just making sure that we apply product in a fluid fashion so that things don't get so bulky that you end up filing down the ombre. And I think what I did is I just went a little bulky with the white on the side.
Right.
And so once I applied the nude and then I went to go into the shade, I took a little bit of the nude off.
So this is what will happen if you don't clear cap it enough onto the sides. You can file off that ombre, which is what I was telling you guys before. That's why I like to clear cap it to ensure that the ombre stays perfect. However, it's just on the side, so it doesn't look awful. You can still get away with it. And another thing I always tell people who are beginner ombre-ists, I guess you can say, is if it turns out like this, you can always cover some of that up with like some crystals or some glitter and just cover up that little flaw. It's gonna happen. It happened to me when I first started doing ombres. But it's just
happened to
something.
me today.
Exactly. It's just something you have to practice and get used to. All right, you guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and comment down below with any other video ideas that you guys would like to see from us.
Comment down below. Let us know. And
Let us know what you want.
We got you.
We got you.
We got you.
We got you.
So bring it on. But thanks again for hanging out with us, and stay tuned for more.
Thank you.